And hey, what's up, totally Toonular?
So
Yeah, a little bit late in the week than usual. Though, before we start getting into what we've been up to, I want to model something for you guys real quick. Can I do that?
Model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I want to see it.
All right, you guys talk for a second. I'm gonna go
Take
get
your.
it.
I hope it's his pants.
Back to our Always Sunny conversation.
No,
or
I think we
watching.
take bets on what James is modeling. I think that's what we do. I think it's going to be some very special underwear.
I think he's gonna put
I
on
think it's
his
gonna be a
John
Batman.
Cena costume again.
His Halloween costume. That's what it is.
I think it's gonna be a Batman thing.
I hope it's tidy whities and only tidy
Oh,
whities
it's
for the rest of the night.
Robin's costume from the one that he want to buy.
Oh, with
They
the
show
big
the package.
It's the big. It's just James and James and his giant package. That's
James and the Giant.
so they're rewriting Roald Dahl books, right? Because apparently they were deemed insensitive because apparently people get hurt by words anymore. It's fucking ridiculous.
Wait,
So
what's happening?
they're literally rewriting Roald Dahl books. So the guy who did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, fucking James and the Giant Peach, they're saying there's a bunch of bullying talk and all of this stuff, and like he's mean to women and all of these things in his books. So they're taking out what the author wrote and they're sensitizing the language. They're sanitizing Roald Dahl books for children now.
So the best thing you could do is basically what I did then.
What is this?
I just never read any of those books. So don't read books.
don't read.
So sorry. Someone knocked
All right.
on my door.
You guys see this? Look at this. Look at this baby. Look at that.
Ooh.
What is that? Wow,
look
fancy
at
man.
this sound guy.
Fresh, sound harness I got now. Look at this.
Look at that. You
Look-
can
look
do
at this
sound
guy.
with no hands.
Wow.
Wait, did you buy like a tiny pink shorts?
Yeah, right.
They don't come with the harness.
Oh, I thought that was like a package for every movie sound guy.
Thanks to the algorithm that was listening to me complain about my back and sound harnesses being too expensive. So I got an ad for $80 on a sound harness.
Bro,
Like that's what I
awesome.
tell people. People keep complaining. It's like, oh, my phone is listening to me, the government. But like, I like when they listen to me and they keep telling me the algorithm, like, that's what you want. I'm like, thank you. I didn't know I need this, but like, I want it now. So,
Yeah.
like,
It's
I can
good
literally
in-
sit here and do this
Weird.
podcast now and do sound at the same time.
Mine's usually my
Nice.
algorithm just
You?
tells me usually it's just dildos and horrible movies. That's all I ever get.
Very
that's
interesting.
all you always want. So,
It is. I mean, it knows who I am at least.
win-win. Yeah.
I said WrestleMania is this weekend, and I'm working, right? And now with this harness, I can watch it a lot easier on my.
There you go.
So
Nice.
needed to show off this nice fancy.
It's
sound
just like
harness.
sometimes it doesn't work though. Like I finally end up start using Amazon, and for some reason Amazon think I skateboard or something. So they keep like giving me all those things to.
Because you
just-
edited that one video for
I
me,
don't
and now
know,
they're like,
maybe.
oh, Leo rides a skateboard.
They're like, here, this is a nice storage for your skateboard, and you can put all the wheels here. And I'm like, dude, I don't need this.
I'll tell you what I get, which like I don't think anyone will be surprised by: diapers, baby stuff,
Oh.
whatever the hell. They're like, biological clock is ticking, girlfriend. Pick it up. You gotta get to work.
Well, I'm glad I'm getting deals because this thing saves my fucking back. So, shout out to me finally upgrading to a sound harness and not just a fucking strap.
Well, now you
B&H sponsor us.
Good.
can now you
Yeah.
can be your own boom guy though. You don't need another
I
boom
mean,
man.
I have a boom op, so it just makes it easier. But yeah, so that's great. Well, besides my fancy new sound harness, I did get to see some shit this week. Saw the new John Wick in IMAX. Like it's a freaking
Oh.
square IMAX that's fucking like huge. It's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's fucking gigantic. Like it's like 2 floors. And like, to me, it's 3 hours of John Wick just fucking murdering dudes, and it's amazing.
How is
Every
the
bit
Donnie Yang in that movie?
incredible. Oh my god, he's like the coolest dude. Him and John Wick have like a cool off battle. Like it's just
Cool. I heard something. Is
good.
he blind again? Because he loved playing like blind kung fu
Yeah,
fight.
he's definitely a blind like assassin. But you know what? He's a pretty awesome fucking blind. He does this thing where he puts like doorbell ringers around a room. So every time like one of the dudes who are chasing after him like goes past the sensor, rings a bell, then he pops up like headshot and he ducks. Here's another bell, pops up like headshot.
Oh, that's awesome. I love him in every movie. Like I like especially the Ip Man ones. I love those.
Yeah, they even thrown some of those like Donnie Yen, like the Ip Man punches. It was really
Oh,
fast,
cool.
like
Like a Wing
crazy
Chun.
shit. Yeah,
Did,
yeah. I highly recommend anyone going to see John Wick.
did Mantzoukas show up? Is Jason Mantzoukas back in this one, or what happened to him in 3?
Oh yeah, he's not in this one.
No.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess he didn't have that big of a role as the homeless assassin. But I guess I would like to see more of the homeless assassins. Those guys are cool. We only get a bit of it with Lawrence Fishburne in this movie.
Got it.
Oh.
Got it.
But a lot of shit going on. I mean, 3 hours. John Wick. There's like literally goes to like 4 countries. Like everybody's trying to kill him. Oh, it's my
usual.
favorite I've seen all year. It's so good. It's literally amazing. Everyone needs to go see John Wick. And then and Leo can talk about more his feelings in a bit. But me and Leo got to see the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. That's why we're recording late
Oh yeah.
this week.
That's
Comes
right.
out this weekend.
Right.
I mean, like I liked it. It's no John Wick, but
Let's say before we went to watch the movie, we rolled 15.
You rolled a 15. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. So, it was still pretty high on the dial. You hit,
Yeah.
but you didn't.
I feel
do
like
as
I
much.
like more than James because I feel like I had lower expectations probably. I kind of have like a bad I don't know, it's like those things like nothing on a movie really surprised me as the writing. I'm like, "Oh, of course this is happening," or like it's kind of predictable.
Right.
But for a
Okay.
D&D movie, it was the best one I watched so far because they have a hard time making
there's
good
only one
D&D.
other one.
Still.
No, there's actually a ton, really. There's the old Tom Hanks one. What is it? Mazes and Monsters, something like that.
All I remember is one shitty one. I think that was in like the 90s.
Yeah, they had a beholder and
Oh, but the movie wasn't bad. Like it's fun. Like I said to Leo too. I mean, it feels like it's just Guardians of the Galaxy, but with like in Dungeons and Dragons. It's like a crew of weird losers.
yeah,
They
but
get
that's
together.
usually what always is. Like it's like a Vox Machina. It's like a bunch of losers that have
I
like
know. Like I always thought Vox Machina
That's like
did it better.
totally Toonular.
Yeah, so I mean, I respect the vibes. I didn't hate it. It's just a little cliche. The villain was like, I don't want to like spoil the ending, so I won't. But the villain was just a little bland. It was like, oh, I'm an evil bad guy.
So,
Blah.
big question is though, and when does it come out? You said this
oh
weekend,
today
right?
probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So then no spoilers, but how much do you actually see of the cartoon D&D
Oh.
guys in there?
Not much. It's more just like a fun cameo.
Yeah,
it's like,
but like it's more than I
see-
thought though. I thought
Okay.
it would be way less.
So it's
which is cool. No Avenger though. No Avenger. No Dungeon Master.
But like what I
Ah.
told James, like they look way
Weird.
older than because in cartoon they're kids. They look like because I was measured by
They've been there
Bobby,
long,
like the kid.
right?
He was
Trapped.
big. He was like ripped and like he looked like an adult. So I'm guessing at that point they defeated Avenger. Like I
And
don't know,
they-
like
they've been hanging out there for a minute.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah,
Didn't
they got
decide,
stuck.
like, isn't at the end of it? Didn't they like decide they're gonna stay? Wasn't that a thing?
I can't remember. It was like the episode that never actually got done and people did on YouTube or whatever.
It was like a fake ending or
And
whatever.
then like he was the master's son. I don't know. It was like a yeah, but like it was like
Yeah,
a cool to
cool
see
movie.
them, and
Sure.
it's like I feel like people that never watch the cartoon, they're probably like, why they keep kind of showing them like if you're supposed to know.
I think if you really know D&D lore, I
Oh.
think you'll get the nods a lot more than I
Yeah,
did.
I'm really bad on the lore, so I'm pretty sure like every creature or every name they drop is probably has like
Yeah.
something too.
But I will tell you too, because I thought the joke's going to be a lot better because the trailer made me laugh. But maybe it's because I had this fucking lady next to me, man, who wasn't just like laughing. I mean, cackling, like at
I had
every
the guy
joke.
next to me doing the same.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like every time Chris Pine opened his mouth, I swear to God, this lady was losing her mind. It's like she hasn't seen a comedy in like 10 years or something.
Oh my god. Good for her, kind of. Sorry. I don't mean to.
Also,
Drove me
also
insane.
James
I couldn't.
was lucky he left the room when they were playing a 20-minute before the movie of the actors talking about the movie. So they basically show the whole movie before the movie.
Oh,
That was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen because usually that kind of videos to either hype you to go watch the movie, but we already pay, we're already there,
Yeah, they
or
played a
something you
trailer.
watch after the movie if you go YouTube or whatever. But I don't know, it was kind of
Weird
dumb that
thing.
they
I'm
did
glad I
that.
got up for a second. I missed it.
But it's cool that a lot of stuff they have there is like practical
that's good.
too.
You got a lot of cool practical costumes. What I will say too, and I hate, 'cause I love going to the movies, but what I hate recently now, for some
People.
reason, well, not the people so much. It's like every time a movie comes out, they have this need to have the actors or the director to do like a monologue at the beginning of it to like thank people for like being in the theater. Or it was like,
Like
you
begging
guys are
people,
heroes.
yeah.
We thank you for being in the theater.
Oh my
It annoys
god.
the shit out of me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, I'm trying to just, like, you're just saying it because you just want us to spend money. Like, thank you
Yeah.
for, you know,
Because they probably ask for less money to be part of the percentage of the the profit.
Well,
like, I'm just a movie. I'm no fucking
I mean,
hero.
yeah, no, it's
I
it's
am a
this
hero.
whole post-COVID thing. You know what I mean? Oh, you're back outside. Look at you, one of the few, the proud, the brave. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a whole fucking and because I think theaters took such a hit during that time, and because everybody is comfortable with streaming. I mean, I have a
I know, but
decent-sized
they kind of
television.
screw things up too
Yeah.
with how much to compensate that time they're like bumping the prices up. I was telling James like it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
for
they're
this
trying to make
movie,
it
I used to
better
when
without them hiking up prices.
yeah, like
Yeah.
when I started dating Aaron and we go to the movies for whatever is the price of this movie that I still need to pay James, it was like both of our tickets and the popcorn with the soda,
Yep.
and now it's just one ticket.
It's
The movie pass era was when Andy and I were like starting to date, so that probably contributed well to our relationship.
I mean, I still have like a movie pass that I use. That's how I go to the movies as often as I.
Oh,
Otherwise,
you do? Oh,
I
that's,
wouldn't afford to be able to do it.
I didn't realize I was still.
Hell yeah! Well, it's like
Like
AMC has a
AMC?
pass. Yeah, they got their AMC
Right.
pass, $24 a month. I see like 4 movies a week, any format.
No, like
Solid.
that's good, but
Nice.
like I barely go. I only go when it's like a Marvel, Star Wars, like something like really. I don't know. I should have go more, but like this is not.
But I love the theater, man. Seeing John Wick in this giant fucking IMAX screening and the sound, bro, that opens up with him just punching this block, right? Just straight up punching it. And it's this sound, like this deep sound that I felt go like piercing through my like body. Like every time he hit it, it was like boom.
But like
Boom.
that. That's like the cool
that's what I
part.
love
Is like the
theater.
visual, like the sound, like stuff that you don't have at home. But then sometimes it doesn't compensate like the people around you or
Yeah,
how much you have
some
for
late
snacks.
tackle.
Like people are fucking annoying. I one thing I never understand like people clapping in like the first weekend of a movie. Like it's not that the director or the actors are there or anything. It's just like something. I don't know. It's probably just
People were
me
only
being like an
clapping at like
old
the
man.
beginning and D&D. People were clapping at like the beginning action scenes. I was
Yeah.
like, this movie just started. Why are you
No, but like
people
it
clapping?
never. I remember even when I watched the horrible Dragon Ball movie that they tried to make, like the whole theater was like yelling Kamehameha, and I was like, I don't know. It's just like shut the fuck up. Let's watch the
I mean,
movie.
sometimes I like some hype. I mean, seeing Avengers Endgame, everybody cheering every time Cap grabs the fucking hammer.
Yeah, but that's like a specific thing. It's not like it feel like you're watching Seinfeld. Like every time someone opened the door, you have to be like woo, and like clap. I don't know. It's not like a.
You
live
don't
show.
you don't do that in your house? Like you don't woo at Seinfeld? When you
Actually, I
finish it?
just sent Aaron last. I think it was yesterday. Someone in New York put on the door like a thing on the top that every time someone opened, there's like the bass from Seinfeld, dum, 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 and
Man,
That
then
that
his
reminds me.
landlord
I
opened the
think
door.
it was. It reminds me. I think I can't remember if it was John Fern or Fletcher, one of my roommates, because I tend to when I watch wrestling, I will like just do the chants even if I'm by myself. Like if Daniel Bryan's there, I'll just or like whatever I do whatever, and then like I remember I think it was probably been John being like, nobody's here.
But
What
like
do
if
you-
you're home, I don't know. It's like weird. I'm like a crazy old person at this point because the same way I hate when I do that happen in movie theaters. I'm the person that watch hours of YouTube of people reacting to something. So it's like I literally one thing. But like if I'm in a movie theater, I want to watch like the first time or when I watch by myself. But after I watch it the first time, if I watch again, sure, I see like people like reacting or whatever. But like when I'm watching the first time, it's just like I feel like I'm missing something happen because it's like a movie. So they're not. It's not like those shows that they're gonna
you
stop
can't go back.
what they're doing and wait for people to stop clapping so they continue talking. Or,
Yeah.
So I have my great grandmother. She was 94 or 95 when she passed, right? And I was in like third grade. Uh, she was awesome. Old Cajun woman, only spoke French, didn't speak any English, couldn't understand a word that she said. Loved wrestling. Loved wrestling. She was my old Mimi. That's what we called her, and that's all she understood. But it was
Aw.
it was great because all of my memories of going to see her were wrestling. She would always have wrestling on, 100%. And then she would start cursing at the television in French. And then you have this elderly woman, like in her 90s. She would get up out of her chair and then she would start slapping her legs and then picking them up and like stomping on the ground. It was the absolute greatest thing. And I'm like, if I can only be this person at 95, I'll be a fucking
Yeah.
happy camper.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That'll
Yeah.
be me. I'm 95 watching wrestling. But yeah, I do appreciate reaction, but I get distraction, which can be annoying. But Ben, how's it
Yes.
hanging out in Tennessee?
Dude, so
Just
we've
that Jello Doctors came out on Vice. I just finished that. That shit
Oh,
was awesome.
right? So good, right?
Yeah.
It's
It makes me
unfortunate.
upset that, like the one time I went to the WTF, it was they shut it down. I was waiting for them to talk about it in that doc, but they didn't talk about it.
The one time that you go to Sacred Farts and it's completely just gone. But so this morning, yeah, it came out yesterday. I absolutely fucking love Green Jello, Bill, all of them. Like it's amazing. And if you watch it, it's 14 minutes. It's on Vice's Local Legends. You really see like I I think I posted something like if you want to see, art and somebody completely annihilate the world with art, music, and love, you should watch this. And that's what it is though, right?
Yeah,
like how
for sure.
nail on the head, bro. Like I had a moment of brilliance this morning when I was
My
typing.
favorite is when he talks about like how they got sued for the Jello with the O.
Yeah.
And then he put the Y with the asterisk and just said it's pronounced Jello.
With the umlaut, yeah,
Umlaut,
over it.
yeah.
He's like, the umlaut makes it sound like an O, so it's still green Jello. It's always the umlaut gives the O sound. But it's a great watch. You see a guy who grew up with a single mom. His dad passed when he was 2. She never remarried, raised him by himself, and he's got 2 kids of his own now. One is off in Australia, and the other one is like 7 or 8. And he has become the dad he wanted to have when he was a kid.
Yeah, that's sick. He's like this cool rock star dad.
Isn't that awesome though? Like that really is awesome. And I will say this: Bill is the most accessible like rock star ever.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I saw him post in the Tromaville group. And
yeah,
I was, that's not him. And then I clicked on it. I was like, I think that is him.
bro, that's Bill. Like you can reach out to him and just like send him a Facebook message. It's his favorite thing. He spends all day long on Facebook. And then that sort of brings me into post on Curse of the Werdeer. So we're moving right on along.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a couple of tests in today on on a couple of additional scenes that I mean, holy crap. That's all I'm gonna say. Holy crap. Um
Keeps moving. It just keeps getting better every time.
I mean,
Yeah.
every single time we watch it. Terry turned in a 4.0 cut that is a definite step up from the 3.0 cut. That was a definite step up from 1.5 and 2.
So 5.0 is going to be even better.
And then like Leo has turned in a couple of VFX for us, some nice background stuff for the pallet factory scene.
Oh, we're testing a couple stuff there.
So one of the things is where we shot in Westmoreland, there are no nuclear power plants nearby, right? So
obviously, yeah.
Sometimes in filmmaking you have to lie with visual effects. So Leo found us a nice big nuclear reactor to throw into the background from the pallet factory. He's created some signs so people know that it's the Tromaville pallet factory.
Right.
Nice.
It's a blank wall, isn't it? Isn't it just blank?
Yeah, wall's just blank. Wall's just blank. And then I looked at it and not to, stroke your pecker too much, but that sign looked like it belonged on there. Like it looked like it belonged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out like a way to blend because I don't know, maybe because I put it there, I know what is not supposed to be there. But I feel like masking like Derek walking over, it kind of helps like to make you feel like it's supposed to be there.
Right. It does. It does 110%. And it could just be
Nice.
that I'm watching on my phone that makes it look so good.
Yeah. don't watch it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Put it on the big screen.
Where it is the only movie made to be watched on a phone.
I don't know. Have you seen Cook Island?
Cook Island is a true
Like
phone
I
movie.
just don't want to watch Cook Island on a big screen because I get intimidated by the penis scene. But
Makes it look extra big. Yeah. But, is that it? I mean, how else is hanging in Tennessee? The puppy's good. Life's good.
Puppy is good. Life is good. No major gripes. Oh, actually, I have one big gripe this week. Really, if you really want to know.
Yeah.
Grinds your gears.
What grinds my gears? My bank got spoofed. Are you guys familiar with spoofers?
No, is that spam? Hacks?
Like I was gonna say, like a
No. It's like hackers from a fucking call center somewhere not in America.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So basically what spoofing is like let's say I was to call Nicole, but I didn't want her to know it was me calling her. And I used a bit of technology to mask my phone number with James's phone number. So that's called spoofing.
wow.
So the people that called me from an 800 number that was my bank. It was my bank's 800 number. So they tell me that there is fraud on my account. Okay. Which immediately I freak out because I'm desperately worried about it.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that they're doing, and this it sort of makes sense. You get a person on the phone, they're saying, hey, there's fraud on your account. Can you tell me, this Hulu charge, this fucking $1,000 to Nike, this $1,500 to this person? None of it sounds like me, right? None of it is me. Is this the last check that you wrote? Yeah, that is the last check that I wrote. Okay, so now they've got a bit of information there. Then this is where they're sneaky. So on my bank, when I get a code to like reset my password, I always get the text message code. So the guy's going, well, we're in here, we're in your account, we're looking at a thing. We're gonna send you a code. Answer the phone when it rings. Answer the call that comes through. The call that came through was literally only a code number. So, like an asshole, I'm like, hey, yeah, sure, here's the code number. Didn't get the text message that says Ascend will never ask you for this information.
Yeah.
Never got that. Got the fucking phone call. So the next day, and then the guy tells me, don't use your online banking for a few because we're doing an investigation.
Oh, no.
Also made sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the next day, I get a phone call from another Ascend number that's like, bro, you got to come into the branch. And I was like, I went into the branch, went through everything. Thankfully, they got no money out of my account.
Good.
Nothing was there. But then I started yelling at the bank because I'm an asshole. And I was embarrassed that I fell for it. I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing to fucking... What are you doing?
You know, they just saved your money, probably.
They probably did. And then also, because again, I am an asshole and I was deeply embarrassed. I was like, my money would be safer in my mattress. So I closed my account. Closed my account with them. Like,
wow.
and they're like, we're going to close this account, but we'll move it to another account. To which I said, if you can't protect this one, how are you going to protect that one? Give me my money. And they gave me my money and let me leave. So today,
So you walk out with the bag with the dollar sign.
Then he gets immediately robbed outside.
right outside the front fucking door. Yeah. No. So
Oh my God.
So today I had to establish a new bank account at a different bank.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
what a
like a serious issue. Like there's fuck, I don't remember the YouTube's name, but this guy does all these like pranks on like
Mark Robber.
Yeah, he did
Robert,
one
yeah.
where he like invaded these Indian call
Oh no,
centers.
that's a different one. I watch it like a bunch of those. There's like he always like tracking the those houses in India where they like he even know how to speak like the language, the dialects and stuff.
But he like sends like these like he gets people infiltrate this call center, and then he gets like these like cube things that he sneaks in there that lets out like cockroaches throughout it, and then eventually like then it's eventually just like a countdown that goes off, so everybody starts freaking out that like something's about to go off, and then it's just like one of those like fart machines where it's just like those like what are those stink bombs? They're just stink bombs the entire place, and they said they shut down 3 different call centers.
Yep.
Wait, the stink bomb is Mark Robert. Well, I don't know. Like there's like a guy that is always just getting like the scammers mostly like from India. So I don't know.
It's scary. I mean, they showed they all in the same group, like they're all working together.
Yeah, it's terrifying, and then it just makes you never want to answer your phone for anybody.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't answer my phone for anyone that's not a contact. I just don't.
Yeah.
If it's important, they'll leave a message.
Yeah.
Same. I said the same thing to my fiance yesterday because I got a call from like a wedding vendor, and frankly, I was just in the middle of something else. Like, I don't want to talk to you right now, And I was like, if it's important, they'll email me. I just like I don't fucking pick up the phone. Yeah. Like you said, James, unless it's a contact.
Yeah. Exactly.
And even then, I'll like grill them. Like, why are you calling?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Sometimes
like,
I get worried, like especially like trying to find a job. I'm like, what if it's someone
that
I got recommended?
No job's not gonna not leave a voicemail. Be like, hey, I've always gotten a voicemail.
The job thing's tough. I remember when I was like looking for work, and I was like, I'm not gonna recognize all the numbers. Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever. I'm glad you didn't get scammed, Ben. And you kept all your money. Everything. All your money is safe. But Nicole,
all my money.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bunch of people visiting Ben tonight to find like his mattress.
Mattress. If you want to rob Ben now, this is the time to do it.
Now's the time.
But Nicole, how's it hanging in California?
It's hanging really well, James. I'm happy you asked. I do have a creative thing to promote. I feel like I don't ordinarily have that, and so now is my time. If you don't mind.
Promote away.
So back in 2020, I signed a deal with a app called Rizzle. What happened was India banned TikTok in the summer, spring, like June of 2020. And then this India-based app called Rizzle was created. So it was like India's version of TikTok, right?
Sure.
Signed a kind of like an influencer creator whatever type of deal with their studios to like produce content, and the idea was like we want to do what TikTok is doing and make like vertical content, but as opposed to like kind of how like TikTok is like a day in the life type thing, we want it to be more fiction based. Like we want you to create web series basically. So I did that. And the reason I bring that up today is because I received an email from Rizzle, because like I was like, had a partnership program with them that was like, we're like completely changing. Your Rizzle website might just like close down. Download your videos now. You might lose them. Like kind of like vague stuff like that, right? So 2 things I would like to promote. One is I would like for everyone, while they have the chance before April 3rd, to please watch my web series that I made at rizzle.tv/u/Nicole. Those are there. And I moved my most popular web series, Same, over to TikTok. And that
You can watch it on
is
TikTok.
And now TikTok
that
is
is in
getting
my.
banned in the United States.
It's not. There's no. It's just buzz. It's just fucking noise. All that shit.
Oh, but it's like Facebook is like putting a lot of money on lobbying them to get like, yeah.
It's all just jibber jabber because they want to make everyone upset and have things go viral and.
Well,
No, but the other social medias they're trying to lobby to ban TikTok because they don't want competition.
The other thing, all I know really about TikTok is there is a quote unquote real time traveler on there that I follow, and the new trend is blasting a nip, like a hidden nipple. Like that's like a legit trend right now.
Blasting a hidden nipple? What do you mean? Like you're in the back of a video and you're just like, "Hi, here's my nip."
Yes. So or like
I like that.
They'll be carrying plants. And then, like, where the plant is draped, they'll have, like, a tit out, and there's, like, a nippy that you can see there.
Well, that's exciting. That I like to hear about. I have to say, TikTok did, I don't know, they, like, turned off the sound of one of my videos because they had some, like, dark jokes. So I like the idea of, like, people being like, fuck the TikTok rules, here's my nipple.
And there's, there are ones I was scrolling through one day, and it's literally... these 2 ladies like setting up a ladder, right? So it's like one lady comes walking with the ladder and she's got her boobs out, and the other lady is helping her like lean it over and she has her boobs out, and then the one lady climbs up the ladder and that's the end of the video. It's insane, right?
Me and Ben have a lot in common where we both love boobs. Like we share a mutual. So if you could please send me what the fuck you're talking about. I would love to find out more about this.
No. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And it just started popping up. It blew my mind.
That's great. Hopefully my videos get like lost in the track. You know what I mean? It's like as people are like looking for boobs on TikTok, people also want to see my fucking web series from when I was like caught inside and couldn't do anything else in 2020. Yeah, promoting that, everyone. Check out, go on TikTok.
What's your TikTok?
Go on TikTok. What's that?
What's your TikTok?
It's Same Rizzle series.
There we go. Same Rizzle series. Check it out on TikTok.
Right. Thank you. Yes, you might see some accidental nips, and you will definitely see my web series. Check it out.
All right, we got anything else you want to talk about?
I went to Sacramento this last weekend, and the Kings won. If anyone cares about any of that.
Sports.
Sacramento Kings.
I don't want to shit on your trip, but I just don't care about the Kings.
Yeah, Leo's taking a big old dump on me today. First it was TikTok, now it's NBA. I'll just go fuck myself.
No, it's like Kings and Celtics. They're like the two that I like the least. That's why. Sorry.
Why? What? Why? Yeah, why? I am curious why. Like, genuinely curious why.
I don't know. It's just like the time I used to play in high school. I just didn't like those people, like the team players. And I don't know. Celtics is just because Boston and New York always have like a beef.
That's true. There is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what about the Kings have like not been good. What's the hate there?
Oh, really? Were they like really good for a while?
No. I have a friend that like grew up in like the Central Valley area and said that when he was a kid they weren't that good.
Oh, no, I maybe I'm, yeah. I think the Kings they only had like I'm trying to remember. There was like only one player that I like it, but I don't know. Like it's like those things that as a kid you something happened that make you not like the thing, but now you don't even remember why you don't like it. You just remember
Well,
you
that's
don't.
like well, let me be clear. Unnecessary hate, I understand. That I get.
No, I'm not
So
trying
you're
to
speaking my
shit on
language
your
when you
thing.
say
It's
that.
just I don't know why. Like them and like Celtics, I is the only one I know why because the beef. But like,
There is beef with Boston and New York. That's like a direct you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Facts.
That's alive and
but at the same time, the
thriving.
Knicks suck balls.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So yeah.
Wow, this is like the most sports we've talked about.
Sports. I only watch
Sports.
real sports like wrestling. All right.
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
the ones that definitely are real things happening there.
Yeah, totally real. I mean, it was just like, okay, let me rewind back and just bring it back to all of us. It's fun to be at a sports event
Oh
for
yeah.
the team you're rooting for and have them win, right? Like that's like a unanimous fun. Like James, I'm sure if you were to go to a wrestling,
When I went to when I saw the Panthers game on was it Christmas? Yeah, it was Christmas. I don't watch football, but I had a blast.
Okay, but you guys play Lions, and as a Lions fan, I know that if you play Lions, you're basically gonna win. So
Hey, I mean, I walked in there. Nobody thought it was gonna win, and
Lions
really
lose.
drunk. It was a party. But yeah.
So anyway, the energy at a sports game is just like fun. I feel like for the most part, you know.
Yeah.
So that was like a cool, and I hadn't been to an NBA game in a while, so it's fun.
I only been in one. There was like Heats and the Nets here, and we were in the one of the last seats. But it was fun when I watched my first baseball game because I never watched a baseball game at all. And
Who'd you see?
it was the Yankees and the Tigers. But then I was there for the Tigers because Michigan, and we
Okay.
kind of won. So I was like cheering really loudly because I'm using Brazil. Like in Brazil, you just shit on the other team a lot. So I was in the Yankee Stadium, shit on the Yankees. So
And there's a lot of New Yorkers that will shit on the Yankees even still, you know.
So I've been to one major league sporting event when I was a kid. And I haven't really gone back since. I was forced to go to football games because I was in marching band, and I hated it. And the only thing I remember at all from the first major league game I ever went to was the Reds and the Padres. Tony Gwynn was still playing, but I don't remember who won. I don't remember the score. I don't remember if there was a home run. All I remember is on the way there, we stopped at a gas station outside of Cincinnati somewhere. It was our last stop to fill up.
Actually.
And there was a lady walking her dog, and the dog stopped to take a shit, and it gave like the biggest arc in its back, and it was shaking.
Oh, you told the story.
Yeah,
I was just saying,
while it was
remember the
shitting.
story.
It was shaking while it was shitting. And it left the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my life. That's all I remember. That and Tony Gwynn.
do you do like Jurassic Park? Put like a glove and.
I only wish we were still in the van. It was awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
How hanging over in the Queens, Leo?
Oh, it's fine. Just because like we kind of talk about some of my week anyway, but like just finishing the sports stuff. Like when we were watching those Yankee game, it's just like funny because I was shitting on them so much, and they're not finding funny at all. They just Finding Nemo.
Very good.
Ah,
Very good.
look at that transition. That's right. This week we were talking Finding Nemo. No, I just kind of picked it because I'm kind of down for an easier watch. And then me and John were talking about it. I was like, yeah, I don't remember this movie at all. Like
Do you-
literally at
do you-
all.
Do you know what else didn't find funny? Finding Nemo did not find funny either.
Yeah,
Also, I didn't know it was that long. I remember watching as a kid, but I thought it was like an hour, not two.
it's like an hour 40. That's not that long. That's like
Yeah, I was gonna say I also did not think this was that long. I just gotta
Put
that up.
It's
I
fucking.
remember way less than what happened.
It is fucking an hour. What is it? An hour and 45 minutes. It is an hour and 38 minutes too long.
I like, so I have to say, sorry, James, I know you want to talk. I love this movie. I really do. I also love how much Ben hates it.
I despise it.
I feel like I'm right in between. Like I'm in a way that I wish Disney Plus had like a speed up button.
Yeah.
But like
that
I
do.
don't hate
Yeah.
the movie, but like it also wasn't made for me. It was made for me when I watched the first time and I like it. But like now I was like,
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, to be honest. I liked it
Oh,
20-something years ago. I don't know if I like it so much now. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just like, it's just...
oh, that's not what I was expecting from you. Honestly, that's interesting.
It's so like I hate to, and I'm sure we're gonna get here, but like this is just gonna be me shitting on this movie this whole fucking time. It's like here's the problem. Like the biggest problem for me is that there's one interesting character in the whole thing, and that's Gil. Like it really, that's the only.
Which is who you are, by the way. Again,
Great.
like you, like, which I
I
love.
love Crash.
Again,
I ain't gonna lie. I love my Super Turtle.
Well, okay. So maybe there are a couple of interesting folks they meet along the way, but Gil is great. I'd watch an hour-long movie about Gil. I really would. How'd he get his scar? How'd he get his fucked up fin? Like, give me some story. Like, oh, and I don't know. I think part of it for me is, and it's the same thing. I loved Toy Story when it came out. I don't know that I would really love Toy Story if I watched.
Did you see this movie at all when it came out?
So in 2003, I was 23. Me and Jen had just gotten together. I did not see this in the theater. I think I saw this about a year to a year and a half later when it came out on video because I ran a video store. And the only reason why I would have watched this is because it would have been on DVD and it would be the only thing in. I've seen this. I've seen it once.
You watch this movie, think it would be more biological accurate, and then you got disappointed.
Oh, we are so gonna get there. Like we are so gonna get into.
I'm excited for that too.
Into clownfish physiology because. So but the thing is I don't know, man. I get so tired of all these like and it's a Disney Pixar problem. Disney and Pixar both have problems.
20 years ago was just Pixar, wasn't it? When Disney purchased it.
No, this is still Disney. This is Disney Pixar.
Yeah,
no, but
I thought they split.
Disney, like Pixar was one thing, Disney was something else, and then Disney purchased Pixar.
So Disney produced this through Pixar.
Yeah.
So I
Disney movie.
Yeah, I'm sure they gave Pixar a shitload of money for this. But I guess my biggest
2006, sorry. I just did a quick Google here.
So yeah, produced by Disney. But my big problem with it is it's all the same thing in all these movies. Everybody has a problem with their parents. It's like they keep recycling the same fucking.
It felt like the same movie as like a Goofy movie, you know?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Kinda.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, like sorry, it has nothing to do with anything, but you mentioned Goofy movie. I forgot to ask this on that episode. Nicole, it's not for you this question because you don't like Star Wars at all, so it's not gonna make that much of a sense. But
Take
like,
a nap or something.
do you guys like Jar Jar Binks?
I don't mind Jar Jar.
Nah, I don't like Jar Jar Binks at all.
Because you like Goofy, right? They're the same person.
Yeah, and that's why Jar Jar sucks. Because why is Goofy?
So you
in
hate
Star-
Goofy.
I like
You're a
Goofy
Goofy
in
hater.
stuff, not Goofy in Star Wars fighting robots, and
Just saying.
like
It's like the same person.
the fucking Republic, whatever.
Like
Fuck
watching Goofy movie was like, this is like Jar Jar Binks the movie. I don't know.
But like, I
That's very funny.
I think that's my biggest problem overall with it is it's always the same story. It's always the same story. It's a bad parent and not
No
necessarily
mom.
no mom or a rebellious kid. At least in this one we get to meet the mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for like a sec.
Yeah, until she gets her ass eaten.
But like Bambi too. Like you could see the mom for like a second, and then the dad that was never there. They just show up for like a second, I guess.
But what I will say, the positive though about this movie is actually like just when it comes down to technology. I mean, this movie was like a crazy advancement in like CG animation or just like animation in general.
Yeah.
Like like I feel like we overlook it when we're watching it, but like 2003, right?
Yeah.
They had to make a water environment.
Mm.
The one thing to create a CG environment where it's toys in someone's room. It's another thing when you have to make a CG environment fish where it's either in the ocean where there's particles, there's different light reflections,
There's
light
things
bounces every
moving.
like the
Wow.
scales on fish and the plants. So when you look at this movie, it's like the amount of work that these fuckers put into it is mind blowing.
Wow.
I get
No.
that. I Leo says nah.
No, I'd say yeah. Like it is because I remember also I think was like Ice Age 2 or 3, whatever they had like the melting thing. It was like the second advance in the technology because then they have to figure out how to make a fur wet look
Yeah.
more realistic. Because this one at least they don't have the fur problem. So it's like a little less complicated, but still just make water is always like a pain
Yeah,
in the ass. Even
especially
today.
Yeah.
like light coming through the surface of the water, it doesn't stay still because the surface moves. So they have to create that light to create the shadows and the way the light moves in the water, like by hand, basically. Like I don't even know, like, because today it's easier. Like I know today they have like different like
No, but
math.
even today, water
Yeah.
it's still a pain in the ass. It's like it just add way more money to like I don't know. Like I wasn't this tour thing that they're explaining on this VFX house. That like if you can avoid water, just avoid water.
There's because even recently I've seen some clips from the new like Pinocchio movie, right? And there's like Geppetto, he's in the water with Pinocchio, and you can see they're dunking, they're going in and out of the water, but then the water isn't sticking to Geppetto at all.
Right.
And it's like, so that shit's they're still trying to figure it out. That's why I see this movie, and that
Wow.
always just impresses
Yeah.
me. It's just the amount of work and animation. I mean, they literally have to figure this out. Nobody ever did this before. That's
Wow.
I think this movie is important for that, right?
You can't take that away, but you also again, that's where I'm saying like give me 7 minutes of that. Movie's over. Great.
Yeah. I
Holy
think that's the
shit.
big problem I think I have too with Disney in general, where it's like they're constantly, especially with Pixar, I would say more Pixar, is that they're constantly advancing their technology, and every movie looks way better than the one before it.
Right.
But then,
Yeah.
the story is just always just kind of recycled.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I never
Yeah.
really get
Like-
that excited anymore.
I think the highlight of this movie is the seahorse kid because that was played by Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle. I think that's the
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. That's awesome. That's why, like, I'm never gonna watch it, like Finding Dory, but I bet it looks
oh hell no.
awesome though. I bet
I've
like,
seen that.
movie
You
looks
guys haven't
like,
seen it?
Like they pick like
I
the
got-
worst character. I don't know. Like I can.
Well, she's like,
I-
okay, like,
It's just listen to Ellen the whole time, and I don't like Ellen.
yeah, it's a lot of Ellen.
I mean, like, no one really likes Ellen anymore. She had a big falling out. That being said, at the time, I get it though. I get why like that was marketable. You know what I
no,
mean?
for
Like
kids,
she's like,
yeah, like it's a easy
comic
easy
relief.
money grab for get kids attached to it.
yeah, right,
but
like, yeah, marketable.
yeah,
Like
it's
the
just
kids will want to see it, and the parents will go and like plop their ass down for an hour and a half and watch
Yeah.
it, you know?
But why? Like, why is the thing? Like, and it has
Because
'Cause
you need a day out with your
No.
kids.
Yeah,
No,
you need
no,
it's
no,
something
no,
to do
no.
in the
you
afternoon.
don't
Time
have
out.
to
movie
write
theater.
anything, Ben. You just put her being like, what? Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean,
but
is it a cash grab? Yes, but like, does
No,
it
no,
make
no.
sense as a
The-
marketing tactic? Yes.
the why I'm saying, okay, great, a sequel is chill. I get that part of the why, but why the most annoying character
But she's
13
funny.
years
Like,
later?
I used to think that Dory was funny. I mean, I'm really playing devil's advocate here because I do agree at the end of the day that she's fucking annoying. But like, I also get it that like when I was a child, I thought she was funny.
I don't know,
It is,
man.
Ben.
I think the whale
It is like
voice-
an easy thing to get kids. It's like Baby Shark. Everybody hate that song, but like you get the kids' attention. And Dory is a
Yeah, like
baby
she's
shark.
like
Yeah, I
She's
used to
silly.
think like the Dory like fucking whale thing was the funniest thing I've ever
Me
saw in a
too.
movie. I'm watching it now and I'm just like, what?
It's
what
like,
the
shut up,
fuck?
shut up.
Like,
I mean, when I was a
fuck,
kid, like yeah, when I was a kid and like Dory, like what was it, Wallaby Way Sydney or whatever, that was like the funniest thing in the world to me. Like I loved Ellen DeGeneres. Like I feel like I went to Disney World sometime after this, and like Ellen DeGeneres was just like the voice because like this had come out, whatever.
Mm.
Like I again as an adult, like I think she's annoying, but I get the cash grab. I
Yeah.
really do.
No, I understand the crash grab too. I don't know. Like I feel like with time, seeing like how she built her career, just being a dick to people. I can hear her voice. It's like the same way I can look at Jimmy Fallon anymore. Like
Oh
I used to,
God.
like I don't know, like 15 years
I
ago, be
can't
like,
stand-
that's funny. But like now I can't
I have
look
like
at him.
that guy.
the same feeling except like less angry. But the fish who plays Marlin, I forgot the actor's name. He's famous.
He was on Always Not Always Sun. Oh my God, Curb Your
Yeah,
Enthusiasm.
and that's what I'm saying. The last season
Marlin.
of Curb Your
No,
Enthusiasm,
sorry, Albert
Yes.
Brooks.
they like they accuse him of being like a toilet paper hoarder, and like
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
that I think about when I
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
is that this guy's a toilet paper hoarder. He's hoarding
That was a
toilet
great
paper.
Albert
Yeah,
Albert
right.
Brooks is a tremendous comedic actor.
Yeah.
There's a movie, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. It was made in the 90s. It's called Defending Your Life with him and Meryl Streep.
No, never saw
No,
it.
but I'm sold.
They die, they go to heaven, and then they are shown all the horrible things that they've done throughout their life, and they have to defend themselves in order to be
Wow.
able to get into heaven. It is
That's
brilliant.
interesting.
It
Yeah,
is
that's great.
hysterical, and yeah, it's kind of thought provoking. It's a good movie. But regardless, I don't care how much name people have in this. This movie
Also,
is not good.
don't you guys think that Marlin sometimes he sound like fuck, what's his name, the actor, but like the George Costanza.
A little like Jason Alexander.
Yeah,
Sure.
Jason Alexander.
Yeah,
A little
Yeah.
bit. I'm
yeah. I
surprised
see
he didn't
that.
have a voice in this.
So right, because George was, they were still popular, right? Like,
So I just want to make sure, because Stevie Lou was asking, we haven't got to the turtle part yet.
We
So
talked about turtles.
Like we
Turtles.
mentioned
A
the
little
turtle,
bit.
we didn't talk about the.
I mean, sure, that was like the one part of the movie where I was like, all right, I'm into this. I like.
Righteous. He's like righteous. That part I thought was.
And
Like-
he's got a little turtle son, and that was like teaching the fish how to like swim through the thing. He was like, "All right, you got to strap it in here, and this is what you got to flip and dive and do this." And Marlin's just like, Can you just repeat that first part again?"
so there are a couple of jokes that do land, and I know like Dory speaking whale went on way too long, but when Marlin does it afterwards to thank the whale, that's a funny tag. Like I thought that was funny when Marlin jumps on and goes, "Thank you."
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a funny tag, but it gets played so much. And I think that's my problem with like kids movies too, like in general, like what's marketed towards kids. is the fact that they have to beat children over the head. You know what I mean? Like to get this shit in. And then I could only imagine a fucking parent in 2003 having to put up with like a 4-year-old that's constantly going, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I would throw a kid off a ledge. I would throw a kid off a ledge. I don't even care.
Just throw them in the ocean so they can keep swimming.
So they can just fucking keep swimming. Like,
I feel like the only thing I thought was funny was like those seagulls. When like mine.
that's actually a good bit. That's a
Because
good
it
bit.
sounds like when you go to the beach, they just keep doing, and you're like, yeah, it makes sense if they just.
They're trying to eat them, and like the pigeon, whatever the whatever it's called,
Pelican.
pelicans. Like the pelican was like, "Don't move!" Like It was a cool little action sequence with him trying to save him, with the pigeons coming after him.
But you could truncate this whole thing.
Yeah.
You could have those good bits in like a 20-minute short. Like you could have those good bits in a 20-minute short. It goes on for so fucking long. Like so long.
I didn't even remember that after he found his son, that something else happened, and then the movie is like over. Like the whole fishnet thing, I forgot about that whole
so
thing.
did I. I was like, "Oh, sick! They got the kid. It's over." And then it went on a little bit longer.
Yep.
But like going back to the turtles, just because Stevie Lou loved them, because they're high, it's just like they were the MVPs of the movie. Because if it wasn't like the kids just gossiping the whole time, the word wouldn't spread, and then like they would have just been dead fish when the like either the seagulls or like the other birds show up.
Right. So it's because the pelican got the news and then he spreads the word even further into the fish tank that, you know, Marlin is looking for Nemo. Like that it has a thing.
And I got the point Nemo gave up too. Like they're just waiting for
And there's like a weird point in this movie I wish that got expanded out longer, where it's like the fish are afraid of the diver coming in, right? And then later when we see the diver, the dentist, whatever, he talks about how he just saved this fish from the ocean. And I wish that was like more of like perspective in this movie, where it's like these humans are thinking like they're helping in some way, but the fish are like their perspective, how scary people are coming in and literally just taking them from their environment.
Yeah.
Humans suck.
Also, and more about the reef too. I mean, there's like huge, like, wasn't like a huge, like, I don't think it's a huge disaster, but isn't like the reef like going through
dying.
some shit?
It's like dying, and there's no way to save.
I wish this got more about the reef, talking about it, and try to, you know, make that more of a bigger thing in this movie.
It's because of global warming. The whole point with the reef, it's getting too warm and just like killing it. And I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a way to save that.
There's not at this point anyway. There's not like a reversal for the Great Barrier Reef. There's not. It is actively dying, and a lot of that stuff.
So Nemo died at this point. If he was still alive, he's not.
Well, fish don't live that long.
Which is great. And again, Nicole, you've seen Finding Dory, even though it's 16. I forget how many years, maybe.
I mean, I do too.
Afterwards, but like in movie time, how recent is it to the events of Finding Nemo?
Wow, that's a good question because it has been a minute since I watched it. It's okay, so don't quote me on this, but from what I remember, I think it was like right after. Like I think it was like relatively soon.
Do you remember Nemo was still like a little fish?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't know what else could have even happened. But then again, like I said, it's been a minute and I don't really want to. I guess I could toss it on right now. Fuck it. I'll toss on Finding Dory.
While you're watching it.
In the background.
But yeah, I mean, so you enjoy these Disney movies. I mean, what's it like getting back into it, watching Finding Nemo?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, I'll be completely honest. I enjoy them a lot. That being said, they do like stress me out. Like, I don't know. I get very emotionally invested in these Disney Pixar movies. I don't know if James, you do too. If it's, I don't know, like something like, because it is always the parent-child dynamic, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because like now, like I said earlier, like diapers are being like targeted to me. I'm like thinking like you know, like motherhood maybe or something. That I'm like, oh my god, I would like bug the fuck out if this happened to my kid, which is like very wild because like that's not even the situation I'm in right now. But like, you know what I mean? So I kind of don't even like I don't know. Maybe my parents really just disconnected when they brought me to this back in the day. But like, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't remember what my parents said about this movie at all, to be honest.
Yeah, same. They probably just were like, here's this cartoon, kid.
So
Like,
you got some breaking news.
yeah, so real quick, Finding Dory takes place 6 months to 1 year after the events of Finding Nemo. Yeah,
I was gonna bring this information. I Wikipedia this here.
yeah. I did a quick
Yeah.
Googler.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's like 1,000 years in Dory's life.
in
I mean,
fishdom.
James, like, do you? So it sounds like Leo and Ben don't really like this movie, but like, did you enjoy your watch, James?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was just kind of in it. I really didn't laugh, honestly, as much as I thought I would. The only joke that really stuck out to me was when they like set off the bombs underwater, and then like all the bombs go off. It's a big explosion underwater, but then it cuts to like the surface, and like a little bubble pops up next to a bird. It's like two birds next to each other, and a little bubble pops up behind one of them.
Oh
and
yeah.
the other bird looks at him like,
Nice.
"Really, dude?" and like flies away.
Yeah.
Nice.
That
He
was
goes,
funny.
nice.
That was a good one.
But that's
Like I didn't hate it. I just
Yeah, I just felt like whatever. Yeah, the
Yeah.
story feels like I said, we just watched the Goofy movie, and I was like, I feel like I already saw this father-son story. Well, should I get it? You gotta let your kid go, and your kid also has to like accept who you are too as an adult, and you gotta work together and set
like
them
I
free.
liked it when I
Yeah.
watched 20 years ago, and I was the audience for that 20 years ago. Like now, I don't know.
Yeah, I used to love this movie. I mean, I used to watch this a lot. I mean, I have the DVD.
I was
I'd
never the audience for this movie, and I'm still not the
Still not.
audience for this movie, and I don't
But-
care.
will say too, like rewatching like the two other Disney movies that we have done, which is the Goofy movie and Lion King.
Yeah.
I mean, I still enjoyed those movies more than this movie.
Way
Like, for some
more.
reason-
I feel like
Yeah.
Ben would like this movie more if Dory starts singing.
Yeah,
More.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be great. Or if Dory did one of those stupid dances in front of a live studio audience, I'd love it. It'd be my favorite thing. Look,
Start scaring people
the
for no reason.
instead of like what is it? Rehoming dogs to children and then having to have those dogs taken away by animal control. Yeah. All that fun shit that Ellen's done, right? Instead of like berating, if Dory started to berate her office staff, I would love it. It'd be my favorite thing.
That sounds like a Meat Canyon sketch or something, right?
Yeah,
That's the dude.
It could be.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
Oh, speaking of, there's some new Meat Canyon. Everyone should go check it out.
Ooh.
Oh, Meat Canyon. That's right.
When
Meat
are we
Canyon. I
gonna
don't know
do
what
a
I
Meat
said.
Canyon show, James?
Oh, I mean, we could. I haven't really figured out when, but we could. I mean, I'm
That's a
down.
good idea. Yeah.
Fucking love Meat Canyon.
That would
His
be
news
fun.
just keeps getting better. But yeah, but like what I was saying, like I don't know, like maybe because we did watch The Lion King first, which feels like an archetype for all this. So it's like
Oh.
now I feel like I've seen it in a way.
You know.
Just with
Okay.
animation.
Okay. Okay. If I'm dissecting them a little more, though, it's like, okay, the first movie deals with a parent's death. Goofy movie just deals with like coexisting with a parent, and
Mhm.
then Finding Nemo is like you have to get back to your parent or you have to get back to your child.
It's more like a
Like,
parent dealing with loss. Like
But like their child like it's not like either person like they still exist and you might not get back to them. Like
But
that's scary.
I
That's
think-
a
what James is saying, like they all are about parents trying to overprotect the kids instead of letting them grow up. Like the way the turtle
Yes.
was showing, like, oh yeah, the kid just got
Yes.
out of the thing, but like he gonna figure out the way back. But like none of those, like the same way I just rewatched Little Mermaid the other day because I want to watch the new movie to see what the parallels.
Right.
And it's again like the dad overprotecting. My daughter would never go to the surface, and I don't know. It's like is they all have like the same kind of dad trying to do.
Right. And what I'm agreeing with, I agree that it's like interesting that this common dad theme continues, is that there is like an extra layer that I think does differentiate the three movies. Death, coexistence, and like what, like they're out there and what if I never see them again?
Yeah, and I think it's like an interesting idea because Nemo really doesn't like, in a weird way, he doesn't really care about his mom, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's never
Mom's
met his
dead.
mom.
Fuck her. I was an egg. Who cares?
Yeah, it's more about like this dad who's who's dealing more with the loss that Nemo has to. Nemo just wants to be free and do whatever.
But now this point right here actually brings us into clownfish physiology. So thank you.
All right.
This
There we go.
This is the nut to crack.
There we go.
So, as far as clownfish are concerned, one thing the director really wanted throughout this was like accuracy, right? Like accuracy in the ocean, accuracy in the things that they could find, swim. Leo.
I don't know about this. The accuracy
For those
because
who are listening, Leo had to raise his hand.
yeah, it's just because when they went to the dentist office and they doing the root canal, I called Erin to watch that scene, and then she was pointing out like things they did wrong, like so it wasn't like really accurate in everything.
And his ocean stuff, though,
Okay.
that was what he was
All right.
concerned about. That's what he was concerned about.
Yeah,
was
fuck
ocean
dentists.
stuff.
As long as the fish are accurate, that's what really matters.
So here's the kicker. If you look at clownfish colonies in actual real nature, clownfish colonies are all men. They're all male fish, with the exception of one dominant female. One dominant female breeds with one dominant male. All right. So you have two that are at the hierarchy and all these little dudes that are not. If anything befalls the dominant female, what happens is the way the clownfish body works is the dominant male, they're like sort of natural hermaphrodites. They can change their sex. They literally, inside their biology, over the course of like 2 years, will physically change to female. All right. So,
cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Fish
fascinating.
are crazy, man. Fish are wild.
Fish are fucking wild.
Yeah, very efficient.
If we apply this, though, to Finding Nemo, there were two fish in the colony that we see, coral and marlin, a dominant male, a dominant female, and they're giving birth to what we can presume will be all male eggs. Coral and most of the eggs are taken. That leaves us with two clownfish in the colony, Marlin and his son. Marlin, being the dominant male, now begins a transition, right? Over the course of the film, he begins his transition into womanhood.
You say he transitioned in the movie?
I beg your pardon?
You say Marlon transitioned in the movie?
The second that his
You should.
the second that his wife died, Marlin's transition begins. If we look at like actual clownfish, right? So
so
while
interesting. Okay.
while his genitals aren't necessarily changing yet, they will be. He will be able to produce eggs over the course of about 2 years. Now, this is what I find immensely fascinating. Marlin is now transitioning to become the dominant female. Okay, so a lot of what Marlin's actions are, a lot of the way he sort of mothers Nemo, his brain physiology is changing first, right? And then his body will transition after about 2 years.
Well, I guess, yeah. And what?
Now-
Finding there's only a year later.
Now wait. This is where it gets good. As time passes, there are no other clownfish, which
Oh,
Marlin now becomes the dominant female, making Nemo the dominant male, which
oh,
means in order to carry on the colony, Nemo's got to fuck his dad to make more baby clownfish.
that's the third
Right.
Nemo I
Right.
want to see. And you got to call it fucking Nemo.
No.
You gotta think there's a porno out there, right? There's gotta be.
So actually, and I watched this YouTube thing where like a dude broke all this down, and it's shocking because then of course I went to Google, I went to like look it up. That's how clownfish fucking work. That is
I
fact.
wish that was a
Fish
thing
for
because
wild.
like people already thinking that Disney is trying to make their kids gay for whatever reason. Because like putting a show is how you transition people, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
oh, it is
But
entirely. Yeah.
I just imagine like something like this happening. It would be like really funny to
Well-
see like the people freaking out with Disney.
So
Whatever turned me queer when I was a kid, I'm very thankful for. I fucking love boobs, so thank you very much, Disney.
So the whole thing, the biggest kicker here is this, right? So they've made Finding Nemo, they've made Finding Dory. Now, like, think about the movie. If the third in the series, the only last
Finding my gender.
Finding Marlin, wherein Marlin full on
Oh.
transitions to a female clownfish, and then
Marlene.
and then has to fuck her son in order to make more babies.
Why not?
This is the movie I want to see.
That
I'm down.
that's the only one I would
You
care
got me
about.
back in. I was out, but you brought me back in.
as long as Gil shows up, I'm down. If Gil's not in it, I don't care.
So you're saying that this is something that actually happened in nature,
Yes, and
and who created nature was God.
I mean, whatever you
So
believe in.
God
yeah.
is okay with like
With changing
beings
gender.
alive to change.
Well, what do you
transition.
know?
I do want to bring up something interesting though about just fish in general. I mean, fish are fucking insane, right? I mean, there's such an insane amount of fish that we don't even understand, right? And isn't a lot of like ancient alien stuff come from like the depths of like the water?
Absolutely,
and, like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they think like aliens sometimes not necessarily need to come from space because like we don't know. We sometimes we feel like we know more stuff they're like outside than what is actually.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
I would feel as like me personally, like I feel safer going to space than I ever do to be like, hey, let's go to the bottom depths of the ocean.
Yeah.
So that's
Totally
actually that is actually a huge thing in ancient astronaut theory, as well as just UFO even sightings in general. 3/4 of the planet is covered in water, right? 3/4 of the planet's covered in water.
Yeah.
We've only explored like 10% of that water. So much of our planet we don't even know about. Like
Because we can't even like physically even get that far, you know, because
Oh,
the
yeah.
water pressure is so insane.
Exactly.
Have you seen those things? Like, it's kind of like sometimes it freak me out seeing those two that they put like all the tallest stuff in the world, but like upside down in the ocean. They start with Empire
Yeah.
State and then they go to Everest, and you're not even like
Wow.
there.
You're
Oh my
nowhere
gosh.
near
Like,
any-
Mariana's was it Mariana's Trench?
Yep.
Like it's
Oh yeah,
deeper
that's
than
where the
Everest
kaiju's come from.
upside down. Yeah.
All of them, even the Kabuki Man
terrifying.
kaiju, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like just imagine being just like down that deep. That's the most horrifying dark world ever.
I think it's more like that. It kind of is a little freaky because the pressure is so crazy that like anything that would come from that deep will be something that probably has no bones.
Right. No bones, immensely dense. Who knows what it could be made of?
and it
Like
just
those giant squid that like you see like those whales that come all scratched up because they go all deep and they start like fighting the I don't know, it's like
that's crazy. That just exists like thousands of miles underneath us. You know.
I love
Just monsters, giant monsters beneath us that are just battling it out.
Yeah, you're right. Like deeper than we could even imagine. They just have a whole world there.
When
Yeah.
giant fucking squid like tentacles and shit come up, like, and they're fucking 40 foot long, terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And the crazy thing is, so they found some giant squid have washed up like on shore. They've somehow managed to get up
Just
here.
recently?
Recently, I would suggest maybe what, like last 10-ish years, they've been finding a few of them, give or take.
I feel like I've read something recently about it.
But like even then, when they find them, it's usually the babies. It's the ones that fell out of the EAC, right? It's the little turtle that didn't
Yeah.
get his way back. You know what I mean?
Still fucking huge, and it's a baby.
Massive. So
Yeah.
and that's, I guess that's the cool thing about the ocean in general. Like
It's like frightening.
It fascinates me. And that's the other part, I guess, about this movie. And it's not like I guess here's what I'm trying to say about Finding Nemo. I would like it better if it were a more interesting ocean movie. Like the shark stuff is cutesy, and I guess I could see how a kid might be like, "Oh, it's scary," and I guess I could see how a kid wouldn't understand necessarily like the AA undertones to it, or the NA undertones to it.
Or the
So,
drug
what I don't
turtles.
understand, though, I mean, I get the AA aspect of it, but I don't get like, so sharks, like, I mean, they can't just not eat fish, right? I mean, they're apex predators.
Yeah,
Like,
don't know,
they
maybe-
can't just turn
Oh,
vegetarian and
yeah.
survive.
Maybe they're just eating
Good point.
like a squid, or I don't know, like something that's not fish.
yeah.
I mean, maybe, but the way they were putting it was like, no, we have to like not kill anything.
What if
Right.
they only
Mm.
eat things they're already dead, though? Kind of like a hyena kind of situation.
I guess. All right, that's a fair point. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
But I
Good
was
point.
I don't know. I don't think the guy
Oh.
that created the show, the movie, he was thinking like, yeah, no, that's the rules. Like,
I mean, did you guys know that the great white is named after the shark from Jaws?
Yeah. The instant
Oh.
you hear Bruce, you know that. Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
watched Jaws.
I remember. You never seen Jaws? Jaws is
I know.
great.
I need to watch that. There's like so many classics
It's
I've never
like a
watched.
classic film school movie, like, but it is. I mean, I'm not going to get into Jaws, but I mean, Jaws is awesome though. It's like
It is.
watch this like Spielberg documentary not too long ago, and they were just showing scenes, right? And to like see that these audience were so scared of a fucking floating dock because they couldn't get the shark to work, so they had, and so instead they were like, all right, he's gonna get stuck to the dock, and the dock is gonna come at you, and it's like this scene where this dude's swimming away trying to get to the other end of the dock, and you see this dock just floating towards him, and it's like this intense scene. And
Wow.
it's just a fucking piece of wood
Yep.
that's just in the ocean.
Yeah.
Jaws, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I love everything about
Like I know, like all
that movie.
those things that everybody use during like the years, like the music, or
And-
like how you make
Yeah.
it more scary by showing less, like all those things. But really watching the full movie, I haven't done yet. I need to do that.
You should check it out. And it's also because of Jaws, you know, we've had a billion shark movies ever since.
Right.
And Baby
Right.
Shark.
Yeah.
And Baby Shark. And what was it?
Good shark.
Left Shark, right? Katy Perry's
Yeah.
Left
Oh,
Shark.
Left Shark. Good reference.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I
all of
forgot
that.
about Left Shark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
The
all
Left-
because of Jaws.
Yeah.
Just because.
Love it.
I mean, a little bit. But yeah, but I mean, I do love, I do like sharks though, in general. I mean, I think sharks are cool creatures. Like, I love learning about apex predators. I think there's something about them that like exist where they're just these like machines that just like survive and like they control their domain. So I love like learning about sharks that are just like
yeah.
these big great whites that just exist out there that are fucking gigantic. And you know, you can actually see what I mean, I guess it doesn't matter to you, Ben, who lives in Tennessee, but
Right.
you can actually track great white sharks and see if they're nearby like your oceans and stuff. Like online,
Oh,
all
that's
these
cool.
sharks are tagged. So you can go, I forgot what website, but you can Google great white, you know, locations. You can literally track them and see where they're at. And I remember I looked at a map once
Nice.
and they were like literally like off the coast, like whatever oceans by us over here, like right next to like Queens and shit.
I don't
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
need it. I don't need it. Don't want it. I'm fine. I'm
But you
fine
don't
without
gotta
it.
worry about it. What sharks you got to worry about in Tennessee?
They're freshwater sharks. Sure, we got sharks. No,
That was a movie I wanted to make when I was 12. I wanted to make like Lake Placid, but it was like a freshwater shark.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's fucking funny. Like a shark's found its way, has figured it out. I think they
Yeah.
actually made that though in like the 70s or 80s. I think there's a
I mean, every shark movie exists at this point.
hang on.
There's even Santa sharks. Shout out to
Joshua.
Yeah, Santa Jaws. Best name for a movie, by the way.
And Joshua was in Finding Nemo, right, James?
Oh yeah, do you guys?
I saw that.
Oh yeah, the ink.
He inked. Little Squid Man inked.
That's so funny.
That's what Squid Man came from.
That's
He was-
exactly it. Yeah, I didn't know that got fucking implanted in my brain. Oh, it's a bull sharks. I think are freshwater sharks. There was another shark movie made called Shark Night. That's apparently about freshwater sharks.
Do you guys like the Sharknadoes?
No,
Yeah, I used to watch
I
them
love
every year.
them. I love them. I watched them all in lockdown. Fucking love those movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched them every year when they aired. I mean, I would never watch them. I never watched them twice, but I watched them all the time.
Okay.
Oh, Cruel Jaws, the secret Jaws 5 movie.
which is what?
What's it called?
Oh, Cruel Jaws. It was like one of those like foreign movies that they marketed as like Jaws 5 and then changed it eventually to Cruel Jaws.
I like that.
Did you guys ever see Rob Schraub and Dan Harmon's version of Jaws 4?
No.
So back in the channel
Like
one,
a remake of Jaws 4, like their version of Jaws 4 The Revenge.
yes, I can actually send you a link. I couldn't find it for the longest time, but what it is Rob Schraub never saw Jaws 4, so Dan gave him like 3 things in it that were like, okay, here's all you need to know about it. Now you write it. So Schraub did, and then it's like an Orange plays Michael Caine. Like it's a very weird short, but the shark is Schraub's dick, and he ties a rope to it, and it's got like the fin on it, and like it's just him playing with his dick as the shark for fucking like 10 minutes. It's great. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's awesome.
Oh, send it to me. I love to check it out. Jaws 4 is a crazy movie. Just the fact that it exists. That they're like the shark's coming back for revenge. That's how we're gonna do this movie.
So the other interesting thing, and I will say this about the sharks, I thought it was a nice homage, is when the torpedo gets shot into Bruce's mouth, right before it spins out and goes into the thing.
Yeah.
That's very much an homage to one of the later Jaws movies. Yeah.
You know what I liked in that? Speaking of homages, because I did not realize that until I watched Finding Nemo this time. The Here's Brucey. He like gets his head caught in like a door.
Oh, yeah,
like the Here's Johnny. Here's like from
there's like another little like there's a Goodfellas nod too. It's like they don't reference like they do like the funny line, the Joe Pesci line, where he's but he says it a different way. He's like, I am funny, like a clownfish.
You're clownfish. You're clown. Tell us a joke, right? Tell us a joke. They do it twice. They do it once in the beginning when he fucks the joke, and then they do it near the end when Marlon has had his full transition or his full not transition yet. His full.
No, he's still 2 years. He's still got 2 years.
His full transformation as a parent. Yeah.
Another thing I want to ask you guys: were you guys ever like fish tank people?
No.
Yeah.
What kind of fish tank did you have? Was it like a big fish tank? Was it like?
It was just like okay. So this is like very silly. It was more so that like my friend had one, and she had these little like I don't even fucking know. They were like little parasite fish. They were so fucking small and weird, and they like spilled out, and like she had like a nanny, whatever, and the nanny was like, oh my god, these fish are like so ugly, I don't want to clean this up. And I like said something like it's what's on the inside of the fish. I just like had this very vivid memory of like giving a whole lot of shits about the fish that were spilled out and that they were called ugly.
Is that the one that
So I
people
just,
like
like-
attach to the window and you just see like the mouth open on the glass?
Probably they look like fucking like I don't even know, like just fruit flies, but of fish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like, oh yeah, somebody had a fish tank and they just gave it to me because that's usually how people get fish.
Well,
Like I
Because
have
somebody has a
shrimps
fish
here.
tank that they can't get rid of, so
I
they have
guess
to
it's-
give it to somebody else.
I just like care about fish. I guess there was also like if you ever go to like a fucking festival, whatever, in your town and you get a fish that you take home.
like a goldfish. That I used to have. I used to have a tank. And shout out to my old buddy Brian from high school. We went out to what's the fairs out there on Long Island? Was it Bethpage or
Yeah, like my
what's
town
the one that
has one.
starts with a B? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Bethpage is actually the Big Dan sauce I got today.
Big,
Look at that. There you
There-
have it.
Big Dan. Look at that. He's all over the YouTube. But yeah, whatever. Some festival.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because my town
Brookhaven?
had.
I don't know. I can't remember it. But they had a thing where if you throw this ball into this little fish tank bowl, you get a fish. Now, my friend Brian was this tall Asian dude, and was able to reach over the counter and place a ball every single time. So every time
Wow.
this turned around, Brian would drop a ball in. We won 8 goldfish that day that I just walked off with, and the guy
That's
didn't
awesome.
care. He just didn't question it. He's like, "Wow, you guys are good at this game," and just kept giving us goldfish that we just kept taking. And we had I had a full tank of goldfish for a long time. But I mean,
Nice.
like fish tanks are hard though. Like I had
Yeah.
who had a fish tank? Actually, our buddy Paul Nicole, he had a fish tank for a while.
Yes, you're right.
But it's like
It
a
is, like,
regular fish tank
hard
or salt.
I don't remember. I think actually it was saltwater. I
Because
could be
saltwater
wrong.
is even worse. I have a friend in Brazil.
Yeah.
Who love like have to spend so much.
It's a life, dude. Like, because we had another friend who was helping him set up his fish tank, and it's like a life. Like, it's like this is your full time hobby. You
I know.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you won't be able to travel. you have to
you
live
can't
for
even,
that.
like bring fish. Like, you can't just buy a fish either and bring it into your tank.
Oh no,
you know,
he got
sometimes you-
multiple
Oh,
tanks.
okay.
He got one that's for
Yeah.
recovery. There's like a one when you have to adapt
Yeah.
something.
Have you guys seen The Wire by chance?
Hell
Like
yeah.
the HBO. You have seen The Wire? There's like that. I don't think I'm spoiling too much. It's like a
I'm
random
not gonna lie,
episode, but
that's
like,
fine.
what's his name? D is like walks into a room and he thinks he's gonna get murdered, and it's just like this guy's fish tank. Do you know what I'm talking about? Weebay is just like, okay, so you have to like do to like feed my fish. James, does this ring a bell at all?
Nah, not really.
Anyway, Okay, anyway, point being that it was like this really tough guy that like you think is gonna like murder this other guy, but he really brings him into the room to be like, while I'm out, you have to fucking take care of my fish.
Because you have to,
Like-
man. Like,
Yeah.
it's a process. I mean, you guys ever? There was like a reality show. I think it was called Tanked. You guys ever watched the show?
No.
No.
It was so it was like this guy who would make crazy custom made fish tanks, and he would go to famous people or companies or whatever, and the whole episode would be like, yeah, we're building Petco, this huge fish tank that's going to be 2 stories long or whatever. And the show ended up falling flat because they would build these fish tanks, and no one could either clean them, no, they couldn't bring fish into them.
Wow.
Like it was just ended up being Chris Jericho recently had some story about it where he said he basically was like the worst investment of his life. He lost like 10 grand on it because
wow.
they had to like tear apart his living room, and then they built his son this crazy fish tank, and then they shot it, they put all the fish in, did all the filming, and then some guy had to be like, oh, we got to take all the fish out because you can't leave the fish in there, they're going to die. So they have to go get alchemated or whatever they do before you put them in a fish tank. So they
Wow.
had to like clear out this fish tank, and then he said the fish kept dying in there. They couldn't remove the fish tank because it was so big that he had to pay people to come in and take it out. So yeah, I don't know. Fish tanks are
it's-
crazy.
So
It's
with
really
that, we
involved.
learned that don't have a fish tank. Let the fish be with their family in the ocean or in the
Yeah.
river, so we don't need another movie.
Exactly. Just leave them alone.
Yeah. Fish are friends. Not food.
Yeah, and I like looking at fish tanks, but yeah.
Oh no,
like,
yeah, maybe like just keep them mostly maybe in aquarium
Yeah.
because they have enough
Chattanooga.
space to live their lives and to get clean, I guess.
Like
Yeah, you guys aquarium people.
Gatlinburg has a not Chattanooga, I said Chattanooga. Gatlinburg has a beautiful aquarium, and those are great. It's fun to walk around in for like an afternoon and be like, oh, it's a stingray. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love aquariums just as much as I love going to zoos.
I love
But
aquariums.
also, you know, still fuck SeaWorld, by the way.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, Blackfish is a great documentary. That's a story about a fish I like.
What's that?
So
Yeah, I'm familiar.
it's oh my god, seriously? Neither one of you know Blackfish.
I'm familiar.
Okay.
Oh, them.
Okay.
Is it actually a fish or is this something
I am
else?
familiar.
It is an
I haven't watched it because I know what it's about, and I go on. Sorry.
It's an
Yeah.
amazing documentary about the trainer at SeaWorld that got drugged down to her death by the fish there. So it's like a giant expose on sort of SeaWorld at the same time. But like it is graphic and it's crazy. It is a horrible watch. It is very
But was
difficult.
like fish? It wasn't like an orca, though.
Yeah. It's an orca. Yeah, it's one of the killer whales, and it, you know, I mean, it did what things in captivity do when they're forced to fucking train people or be trained, whatever. It's
100%.
a heavy watch, bro. Like, I recommend it just on the sheer fact, like, on a day when you want to like cry and get angry at something, like watch.
Yeah, that's the doc to watch. Yeah. So yeah, people leave the fish out there. Leave them alone. Let them like Eli Roth actually put a documentary this year called Finn about people hunting sharks.
Yep.
That's really like fucked up and pretty sad and crazy. So yeah, you know, just leave the fish alone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
go study them, but leave them alone.
So just so you guys know, I'm low-key working on a spin-off to Curse of the Weredeer. It's called Curse of the Werefish, and we're riding hot and heavy on Eli Roth's tales there. It's all about that, about hunting in the oceans. Yeah,
Nice.
dolphins, sharks, fucking all that shit. Anything that ends up in a net, there's going to be a were one, and it's all going to take place on like a crabbing boat. So it's also going to be like a bottle episode,
It's
like
gonna
a
be
bottle.
really easy to make everything happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just get
As long as you have like the one guy who looks like the old dude from Jaws.
Yeah.
You know, like the fisherman guy.
Absolutely, and it'll fucking take place in the what do you call it? Out in the oceans. We'll get a restaurant in Queens, and we'll just make it look like the inside of a yacht. And
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. And then shoot the ocean stuff in Albania.
done.
There you go.
I learned my lesson from the master.
All right. Well, I guess I really don't much more to talk about Finding Nemo here, so I'm just gonna start.
Yeah, we already found him.
Going-
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found him. So Ben Johnson, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, no, skip it. You can. I would have loved this as like a 20-minute short. I think you could get everything you need out of it. There are a few characters along the way, a couple of jokes that work. Other than that, skip it. It's an for me. I don't need it. All day, James. Great. You want me to do it again? I'll do it again.
You might.
It's all you need.
We might need you here. Yeah.
Fucking done.
Fix and post.
Yeah, right.
That's the most enthusiastic I might have ever heard. I do, like I said, respect it. I do. Absolutely.
It's just, I don't know. It was just like it was boring and annoying, and I knew that going into it. Like that was the thing. I couldn't understand the hype. Like, but again, I saw it in my 20s. Didn't see it again for 20 years. Don't, I get it. They poor
Like
little fish.
you start watching already, hating before you start watching too. You hate watch.
Well, in my 20s,
Fix their
well,
throat.
that's the thing. Like in my 20s, probably not. Oh, there it is. Now he's got it.
Sorry, I had a little technical issue.
Yeah.
Got it.
in my 20s, I'm sure I wanted to see what the hype was about. You know what I mean? Because it was hyped. It was a big thing. And
It's
same
like
thing.
me with Frozen. Like Frozen was extra hype. Then I watched. I was like, really? That's what people are hyping this? I was like, that movie
That's
stupid.
like-
I don't watch Pixar anymore.
I mean,
That's
I
like me and whatchamacallit, like Star Wars, like to be blunt. That's like kind of
Yeah. That's fair. I guess we all pick our poison,
yeah.
Mm.
right?
I thought
Yeah.
James
I
would love
saw-
Pixar because he love Pixar moms.
well,
Hey,
I say I like Pixar.
that Incredibles mom is Incredibles. I agree with that.
And she has elastic powers, right?
Uh-huh.
To have that fat ass on purpose.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she grew that because she already know.
good for
But yeah,
her.
all right. So Nicole, did you give your last thoughts? I couldn't-
No, I mean, I do think it's a success of a movie. It stressed me out. But I think it's a success generally.
Not want to work.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Success.
that's really all my
Fuck
yeah, success. I guess that's really all my commentary on it. I thought it was good. I don't know. Got the job done. You get to watch a cute tale. Just did it. So I'm just buying time talking. It's a cute movie. I don't know. Fish are cute. Fish are fun.
You guys saw the
Fish are-
Toy Story cameo?
Oh, I know John
Uh,
Ratzenberger does a voice in it.
Oh no, like I mean, like visually, like I think it was on a dentist's office. There's like I believe it was like a Buzz Lightyear on the floor.
Oh, ha!
Oh,
Right on.
cool.
Right on.
Cool.
Like Pixar always
I'm
like
just-
kind of do this. Like they kind of drop like
Yeah.
a character from another movie in the next one, and like from a previous movie, I think, or the next. I don't know. There's like a thing that they always do.
I do like that. I like how they like mesh the universe that way.
They seed
It's
the
pretty
pot.
creative.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, there we go. Success. I think it's a success.
I don't know what's my mixer keeps freezing up on me, but I got it.
Success.
There you go.
Perfect.
Success.
All right, Leo. What about you? What are you giving this?
So
movie?
I think the movie is a success for the audience that they need to have, but for me, I wish it was shorter. But like, it's like I'm not the audience at this point of my life.
Yeah.
But it's a success for Pixar. They definitely made like a lot of money out of this.
Success.
I mean, yeah, that's for sure. At the end of the day, we can say whatever thoughts we want, but this movie is ultra successful for Disney. I mean, I remember this movie just being
Yeah, there's-
everywhere. I mean,
There's no denying that. I'm just going solely based off. I hate it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we give our opinion here for our listeners and watchers now, but like I feel like it's not the movie usually our audience would enjoy because it's at
That's a
least
good
if
point.
they have the same taste as we have, but but we're not the audience for this movie.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna echo what all you guys said. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a. I think that's the first ever I've really given anything, but also I don't hate it though. I don't want to say it so much, but I don't. Yeah, at the end of the day, I just said I don't know. It just kind of the jokes didn't land as much. It just kind of was whatever. I just respect the fact of what this movie was and what it did with animation and
Sure.
all that kind of bullshit. I'm glad what this movie did to progress the way we look at animation now. Basically, Avatar 2, all that underwater stuff. It's got to start with Finding Nemo
And
first. But
you can't deny that. That's 100% valid, but that's not story. That's not entertainment value.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That's-
So and that's what I stick with. And I'll never watch Finding Dory ever. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed my time. I'm glad we watched it. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna give it all.
We should have watched Furby Island. Reeves is right. We should have watched Furby
We'll get
Island.
there.
Yeah.
We'll get there because
What is
I don't know.
next week?
Next week, apparently, I'm keeping up with the animal theme this month.
Cool.
because next we've got a guest. We got PVD Dave, right? He's coming on the show. We're talking Count Duckula.
Oh,
Where
good.
can we find this, our audience, if they want to follow up with us?
YouTube.
It's just YouTube?
Just you. I will send you the
Oh no,
link.
I don't know why I thought this was like a Disney kind of thing.
Yeah, I assumed it was Disney too. I don't know anything about
Doesn't
this.
it look like Donald Duck?
Kind of, but he's like a cute little like vampire too.
Yeah, because that's why I think I
No,
thought it was like a
apparently
Disney Plus kind of thing. That's why I'm.
Yeah, I assumed it was Disney Plus too.
I mean, I was gonna send you guys a YouTube link. If there's something else, please do let me know.
Well, send us the link. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the show?
I'm
Ben?
familiar with it, and I just had to do a quick.
Dwayne is. Dwayne says, "Oh, wicked."
Yeah.
There were 4 seasons of it, 88 through 93. It looks like it is it's a hybrid British American sort of thing. Let's see. It was a Nickelodeon show back in the day. ITV and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I assumed it was Disney for some reason.
He looks more like Plucky Duck, as opposed to necessarily like
okay.
Donald Duck. Yeah, he's got a little bit of. He's like if Donald fucked Plucky. Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah, I guess apparently we're sticking with the animal theme this month. So, yeah, now we went through monkeys, we got fish, now we got ducks.
Yeah.
Next up, Furbies.
Next up, Furbies. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
No, I'm familiar with this though. This is going to be a good one.
I don't think
It looks
I don't
good.
know if I watch it or not. Like I have the image in my head that like is something I've seen as an image, but I don't remember if I watch an episode of it.
Well, we're gonna be watching, and I'm excited to see you, PBT Dave. Never
Oh
talked
my
to him,
God.
so it's gonna be a good time.
I love that man very much. Ben, you met that man. Isn't he a lovable man?
He's a nice guy. I've talked to Dave like a couple of times. Yeah, Dave's wonderful. I'm very excited.
Something's in that Providence, Rhode Island water. I don't know what. If it's the fish, maybe. But
it's the fish.
yeah, there you go. It's just like makes good humans. So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, then on that note, Ben Johnson, where can good folks find you at?
You can find me deep in the cut on Curse of the Weredeer. We're moving forward. We've got some fun stuff planned out. You'll find me at shit.house.productions. You'll find me at yarn_yeti. And later tonight, you will probably find me in front of my TV watching some Vanderpump. Go team!
Nice.
Yeah. Leo, what about
You
you?
can find me getting your sauce with Big Dan.
Yeah!
And I got today, like I said before, my Bethpage barbecue rib rub, because that's like the one that Virgil keep getting, right? For the everything. So
Yeah, that's when he keeps.
I wanted to try and see how it is. It literally just got him right before the show. Excited.
Great. Yeah. Oh, shout out Big Dan. Big Dan's original Bethpage barbecue sauce and season.
Yes, I love him.
It's a Big Dan deal.
Nice.
Dude,
Nice.
that sounded exactly
Oh
like
my
the
god, I thought that was a sound bite.
that was incredible. Nicole, what about you? Where can we find you at?
Yeah, please do check out my web series. So it's on TikTok as same Rizzle series. Check that out. I do want to promote Big Dan. I love him. I think he's such a great sponsor. So thank you very much, Big Dan. You rule.
Yeah, thank you, Big Dan. You rule. And if you're watching YouTube, you can see all this awesome Big Dan we got around us. Go scan any of these QR codes. Go find him on Instagram. Big Dan's original Bethpage barbecue. Check it out. And you can always follow me always on the Fantasy Shed. We got a new Blunt Smoker video out right now. We just watched Bloodsport.
Oh, I love that movie.
So Kumite. So go check it out. Yeah, it's a blast. We got another episode coming out next week, which is going to be pretty wild. I don't want to say what it is yet. It's going to be a surprise. And I also want to give a shout out to good old Joshua Dolan. That dude's producing a horror movie that I'm working on in June.
That's right.
It is open up and they just opened up an Instagram called Local Boogeyman. So go give that a
Oh,
follow
yeah.
too.
I heard the
Oh.
editor for that movie gonna be like a handsome guy.
Nice.
Wait, are
I
you?
hear they call him the Antonio Banderas of podcasting.
It's true. Yeah.
This is news to me that you're editing it. That's awesome.
Yeah, like gonna help them editing this. I'm excited to get the footage after James work on them.
I do have involvement in that movie.
Oh, cool.
I like don't want to spoil it, but
Oh,
James and
sure.
Ben, you might know what I'm talking about. But whatever.
Oh, it's like the images stuff.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we all
Yeah, I got
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my missing posters. It's great.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. I just wasn't sure if whatever. Like that was. I'm just like happy to be a part of it in some way. That's awesome.
Yeah, and go follow the Instagram, Local
Oh, yeah.
Boogeyman. All right, I'm start switching over to this intro. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Dwayne Steeler, for always this. Love you, Steeler. Love you, Stevie Lou. Whoever was in this chat today. Thank you. All right,
See you guys.
peace out.
Bye, guys.
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman. Well, don't do it, Cartman. Well, I'm warning you. Okay.
Hello, peasants. Want to kill all humans?
We're there, dude.
We'd like some money.
Yeah, money.
Money is cool.